we have a special guest that's calling in, someone that we've known for many years, that is, as I always say, the godfather to PE, Dr. Bob Pangrazi. We appreciate you taking some time to log in today. And how are things down there, Bob? How's your summer going so far?
Summer's going well. If we can withstand the heat and COVID at the same time, they're hammering us down here.
Wasn't the heat supposed to kill the virus? That's what we heard right away. But
yeah, well, it did just the opposite,
think so.
Unfortunately.
I saw the other day Phoenix hit like a record 116 or something just the other day.
Yeah, that gets pretty warm. The hottest day I've ever seen is 121.
Oh my gosh.
But 116's right up there, man. Every breath you take is hot.
I'm sure instead of your 10-mile jog, you only did 5 miles that day, huh?
You're exactly right. You cut back a little bit.
Oh.
It's good to see you guys. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty impressed. You know, this Adam and Andy show is getting pretty hot. You guys are in the big money pretty soon.
We had some letters. We heard that there was some hate letters coming to Gopher because we were off for so long. They said that we got to have these guys on every week. So, I mean, thank you, fans, for writing those letters. Yeah. You know, we'll talk to the producers and, you know, maybe see if we can come on even, you know, twice a week or something. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a daily morning show where we sip our coffee and
just talk PE.
And just talk PE.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
Well, I think you guys can pull it off. You're pretty darn good.
Well, thanks, Bob. Coming from you, that means a lot.
Yes,
so,
thank you.
So Bob is kind of the leader behind these My PE packs. So what was the inspiration that you had behind these packs, Dr. Bob?
Well, you know, I got looking at a lot of different issues. And of course, Deb, my wife, is the supervisor of a large district in Arizona. And so I get all the feedback I need and more from her because she's got a pulse of things. And, you know, we were talking about the different models, like being fully in school and being completely virtually online. And then, of course, the huge elephant in the room is, as you guys spoke to, sanitation. In other words, if kids are all handling the same equipment, how are we going to clean it? I mean, she's looked at a lot of different possibilities. But, you know, kids have books. Kids have a lot of their things that they need that are theirs and theirs alone. And I just got thinking, boy, if they could be responsible for their own equipment, be able to take it home when we're virtual, bring it back when we're hybrid even, you know, half at school, half there. It just made a lot of sense to have a My PE pack. And I said, you know, let's give it a try. I'll write some activities for it. Let's put it together and let's price it aggressively. And I think the prices, you know, the way Gopher has priced these, been amazing. I'm impressed.
And what you just mentioned, kids have their own textbooks they can bring home. Kids have to buy their own notebooks. Why not add it to an equipment list? You have to go out and buy your markers, your pens, your pencils. Why not buy your own PE packs as well? So. That's one thing I'm glad you touched on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that's, you know, and, you know, tell us a bit about the activity instructions that you kind of wrote for these two. So that's the other good thing they had mentioned too, because not only do they get their own equipment pack, but there was some stuff where the standards. Tell us about that, Bob.
Yeah, Andy. I mean, obviously, if you give them their equipment and then all the activities are group in nature, that doesn't make a darn bit of sense because we're going to be sharing the equipment. So I had to go through and pull out all the activities I could. First of all, I picked equipment that I thought was reasonable. And you guys showed, you know, samples of 3 different packs there, depending on what your needs are. But, you know, I had to pull activities that were individual, where kids assume they're at home and it's virtual PE. Well, there's not going to be anybody to play with. So the activities had to be individual in nature, things that they could challenge themselves. And, you know, when we talk about accountability, et cetera, if we don't ask kids to do things that they can do and have equipment for doing, how can we expect any kind of accountability or that they'll want to do it? The other thing we did when we looked at the sports pack is that I took all those sports and listed some of the basic skills they need to practice in the sports, but we all know that if you're going to be an athlete, you spend hours and hours and hours practicing by yourself. So what I did was build in evaluation tools at the end. So if you're practicing softball, for example, well, here's a way to evaluate whether you're getting more accurate with your throwing. If you're trying to practice catching, here's some tools for doing that. And we have them for all the sports so that kids can practice and repeat the same skills over and over, but come back and evaluate how they're doing. If they don't have some idea of their progress, you can't expect them to be motivated. What do you think about that,
Yeah, I was nodding my head the whole time because I completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to shoot baskets or dribble around a basketball for hours and hours if you don't have anything to compare it to or measure up to? So how do you know if you're improving or you're getting worse or whatever? So yeah, that's in anything in life, you're going to want some measuring tools to see how you're performing and see how you're getting better. So
yeah, everyone always has goals. That's some job. You always have a goal. You should always have a goal for something. So
exactly.
Shoot for something. So
exactly.
Yeah, and I know you guys are super athletes, and the older you get, the better you remember you were. But,
Yeah.
What?
I just seen if you were listening, Andy.
So
Go ahead, Andy. I'll let you go on that one.
I got nothing.
you mentioned you're a huge fan of our show. We are also a huge fan of the PE huddles. You've had only a few thousand more people register for your PE huddles than we've had on Gopher Live. But tell us a little bit about the PE huddles. Have you enjoyed them? How do you guys have any episodes coming up that you'd like to share?
When are we going to be on them? I mean,
Yeah,
if you really want to boost the
the
ratings, when are we going to be on them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually we have one coming up where we're going to have a member of the sales team on. So we'll let you guys fight it out because we pay a pretty good royalties if you show up. But yeah, we the huddle went way beyond my expectations, and the questions and the people that responded was way beyond what I thought would be. And our team of consultants just did a fantastic job of preparing, and then we had, other guests, and we'll even broaden the number of guests we're bringing in. I needed a break. We did, I think, 8 or 9 of them, and I needed a little break. And summer gets dead in this time of the year, and then it starts to pick up. So next week we're going to open up with a huddle right out of the shoot, and so we'll have a new one where we're talking about getting back into the swing of things and getting after school. Deb Pangrazi is going to be on, and she's looked at a lot of different angles, so we'll have her, and then we'll have Aaron Beatley and Deb on for an ASAP one, a dynamic physical education one. We're going to get health moves minds and social emotional learning. And so we've got a schedule coming up. We'll go right back to our schedule of every other Thursday at noon Eastern. Noon Central. No, let's try that again. Noon Arizona
There you go.
time. Yeah.
So 1 o'clock Central, 2
so
o'clock.
I show up time.
Something like that. Head to the Gopher Sport website and get registered.
Like I'll show up. I promise I'll be there. But we've got some things going with the huddle, and alongside with working with you guys, it's fun, and would love to maybe do one with both of you and a couple other members of your team one of these days, and just chat a bit.
Very cool. Well, Bob, it's always fun seeing you. I miss not being on the road with you and always having a good time. And I think last time I saw you was probably February down in Colorado. Maybe we had that, and then obviously we haven't been on the road since. So always good seeing you. Thank you, Bob, from the bottom of our hearts for everything you've done, man.
Well, thank you, Andy and Adam, and to your team as well. One other thing, if I could just mention, is that we're putting together a series of virtual presentations that maybe you can use with people who want help at conferences, et cetera. And so our consultants, I have a list in front of me of things they'll be doing. And so we'll be able to support you and your team instead of maybe not showing up at a conference in person. You'll be able to do some virtual presentations. Cool. So we got a lot on the on the horizon, just like you guys do. Thanks so much for what you do, and keep after it. I love the Adam and Andy show.
Well, thanks again, Dr.
thank
Bob.
you.
We're very lucky to have you on our team, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Stay safe, be well, and say hi to your lovely wife.
Yes.
Will do.
All right,
Thanks,
take care.
guys.
That's awesome. Dr. Bob
What
Pangrazi,
a
man, I tell
guy.
you what,
Yeah.
he is, every time I'm out on the road with him or watching him speak or doing his activities, I get energized. I mean, the guy, you know, the guy, he's a legend. So
I
thanks,
miss
Bob,
our
as always.
push-up contests that we have. We do like thousands of push-ups at each show when we see each other. So
That's
I
great.
miss that. So thanks again, Dr. Bob. That was awesome.